Nathan Pinckney should be appointed to the Election Commission. He is a longtime county resident. He is involved in political and social issues, and he holds firm, clearly stated beliefs. You know exactly where he stands on every issue. He doesn't hide anything. You want transparency, he will give you that. He is intelligent and knowledgeable. He has said that if he is appointed, he will tamp down his fiery nature. The way he speaks here isn't the way he would act up there. I believe him on that. This honorably discharged military veteran promised, and this is his quote, "I will perform the duties assigned to me to the best of my abilities," end quote. I think he deserves a shot.
I believe it's been shown that as it exists, the Elections Commission has been dominated by election deniers, skewing any advice or observations that have been made. It's for these reasons that I don't believe the Election Commission should even exist. However, if the majority of the Election Commission did not lean in a skewed direction, one way or the other, it's possible that it could come up with some productive guidance. With that in mind, I recommend that Nathan Pinckney be appointed to the Elections Commissions to start heading in a direction of diversity. Also, I'm going to find it interesting to see how Mr. Cry votes. Thank you.
Good morning, Board. I was reminded this morning not to speak as a commissioner today, so that's what I'm doing. I'm speaking as a constituent of Mary Rickard in District 3, as a mother of 4 and 3 bonus kids with their spouses and a grandmother of 12. I'm speaking as a grateful and proud citizen of the Shasta County and so happy to speak to the 5 of you today, along with County Council Larmore and CEO Rickard. I am also speaking as a former group home mom, a house parent for Remy Vista with my first husband for 5 years. We lived with these young men for 5 years. Over 100 young men from the age of 12 to 19 came through our home, 6 at a time. I've also worked as a chaplain for Juvenile Hall and other youth programs, Youth for Christ, Forward Leap, with my current husband, and we co-founded the GROW program at Juvenile Hall. It was very successful, and I'm very proud that it provided education to the incarcerated youth, building skills and responsibility and opportunity to earn emancipation. That's where we met Joe Kameny. So back in 2017, we partnered with Joe, and we helped our kids earn the ability to become carpenters, plumbers, electricians. It was probably the highlight of our life to have this opportunity. And all that to say, when I saw some information yesterday, my heart completely broke and it melted with the content that was shared, because I believe this is an amazing opportunity for our county. It's an opportunity for Nathan to be the best version of himself. And like I've told so many young men, I believe the highest and best in you, and I believe you can do better. So I'm extending an olive branch saying I believe this is an opportunity, but with that, each of you are going to be held accountable. And as my husband told you too, if anything happens, and Laura as well, the county, you will be held accountable. Nathan will be held accountable. So this is his turning point. This is a pinnacle that we can make a change here. So with that, I want each of you to consider, I've had to personally deal with Nathan's attacks towards me the last 3 years, the ugly, horrific things he said about me. I haven't gone looking. I've had friends and my grandchildren tell me, Mimi, why do you make people so mad that they say such ugly things about you? So I want you to make a decision in view of your grandchildren, your precious Elliot, Emerson. Would you put them in the care of this man? Is he stable? Is he safe? Can you trust him with their care? Let's make a decision with our choices made through the grid of our grandchildren.
Uncircumcised Philistine here. Listen, we could solve this election commission problem right now. Get rid of it. It's been a pathetic, one-sided propaganda machine from day one. There's no bipartisan election commission. Zero, zip, nothing. They pander in unsubstantiated lies, misinformation, for the sole purpose of propaganda, costing this county $100,000. The sole purpose of Mr. Jones's election commission is to get in there and disrupt and hopefully figure out a way that will become a hand count county. Every single commissioner that we currently have is polarized to the extreme far right, ultra right. Chair, I'm really disappointed that you would let people come up to this podium, make accusations unsubstantiated to slander people. Yeah, it seems to me, sir, that your duty is to check people when they're slandering or making unsubstantiated accusations. I mean, come on, man. So I support Nathan. I have seen no substantiated criminal report. I have seen somebody who is passionate and active. I think that either we need to shut down this joke, this pathetic joke, or try to figure out a way to balance it. Because right now, it is ultra conservative. If you're not a white nationalist Christian, if you're not a Trump supporter, if you do not believe Laura Hobbs, if you do not believe Dr. Frank, if you do not believe unsubstantiated crap that just got thrown out of court last week, then you're not wanted on Mr. Jones's election commission. You need to call it what it is, a wasteful propaganda machine. However, if you're going to insist on its continuance, you better figure out a way to do it bipartisan and balanced. Currently, it's way over the deep edge into the big lie.
Morning, Board. Yes, I'm here this morning to really support Nathan Pinkney's appointment to the Elections Commission. I'm really used to hearing the lies and the hate-mongering and the fear-mongering from the right wing over and over again, to the point where if you hear it enough, some people might start to believe it. Now, I realize Nathan can be a controversial figure. He can be critical at times when it's warranted, but he's an intelligent, well-informed citizen of Shasta County. He's exactly the kind of voice we need to counterbalance what I think has been a far right-wing tilt of the Elections Commission in a way to disrupt and draw into question the integrity of our elections office. I urge you guys and you to vote in favor of Nathan for the Elections Commission. And what that means too, Mr. Cry, is that you keep your word to Mr. Garman to, in a nonpartisan, bipartisan way, support his choice for this appointment.
Good morning, beautiful board. I know that for many here, this appointment is controversial. Before I begin, I'd like all of you to remember that the commission in itself was created and controversial. Many of the members who have served and are publicly serving now are also considered controversial. For those of you who would like to use the TRO against Carlos Zapata against Nathan, I'd like you to remember that the gun that was pulled was in self-defense as his Second Amendment right to a man who had a weapon. He was holding a CO2 tank to hurt or even kill Nathan, and later killed someone a week later, or 3 weeks later, sorry. So Second Amendment rights for self-protection, I do believe, are highly recommended in this room. I'd like to thank Tim for taking this step, the showing of grace fitting for a pastor and a representative of Christ. Perhaps for many of you, this was not what you wanted for this commission. But to me, it's a move towards reconciliation. It's a move towards coming together. Perhaps if Nate can learn to work with Patty Plum, with Margaret Hanson, maybe many other people in this community can learn to come together as well. If there is a concern about either of these women working with Nate, then Mary, may I ask that I be appointed as well for your appointment? Because I work well with Nate, for anyone who's afraid of that. And I also work well with Patty Plum and Margaret. So I could stand in the middle until Nate proves himself. It is important that we have differing ideals represented. It is important to have Nate and I on the commission to do that. We could make for a more well-rounded and even-keeled arena. I know there's a lot of fear surrounding this appointment, a fear of what happens if you appoint, a fear of what happens if you don't appoint, a fear of 2021 all over again, a fear of the criticisms that may follow. Fear of dossiers and videos from cowards who hide behind computer screens and cartoon images. It's time we put aside fear. It's time we put aside malice and vitriol. And it's time that we all learn to work together. And this appointment is a good start for that. Thank you.
Ben, Dolores, Stephen.
So, my name is Benjamin Nguyen, and I'm here today to voice my strong support for Nathaniel Pinckney's appointment to the Elections Commission. Nathaniel's influence on the community, for me, began in 2021, a time when our society was deeply divided by the COVID-19 pandemic. In those challenging times, Nathaniel distinguished himself by not taking easy or popular stances, but by holding a mirror to our collective behavior. Though this approach was sometimes controversial, it was always rooted in the desire to reveal deeper truths and foster genuine dialogue. Now, in 2021, Nathaniel was assaulted by individuals affiliated with the Red, White, and Blue Print. This violent act was a wake-up call for many of us, including myself, highlighting the extreme measures some were willing to take to push their political agendas. This incident galvanized me into the political activism and underscored the urgent need for leaders to stand against bullying and manipulation. Nathaniel's a veteran, embodying values of honor and impartiality that our community desperately needs. His passion for justice and the ability to remain focused and unbiased are essential qualities for someone serving on the Elections Commission. Despite facing opposition from those with a history of misdeeds and distorted narratives, Nathaniel's unwavering commitment to truth and fair elections makes him an invaluable asset. We must also address the baseless accusations from individuals like Laura Hobbs, who continue to challenge an election that they lost fair and square. Appointing Nathaniel to the Elections Commission will ensure that such unfounded claims do not distort our democratic process. Nathaniel's appointment is crucial, especially given recent developments, including concerns about a member of this board attempting to access documents illegally from the Elections Office. Such actions threaten the integrity of our democratic process, and having watchdogs like Nathaniel on the commission is essential to prevent these abuses of power. Nathaniel is a true patriot, not like those who hide behind the flag to push their divisive agendas. He exemplifies the best of our American values through his unwavering dedication to justice, truth, and fair elections. And regarding Patty Plum, Shasta County's very own Nurse Ratchet, she mentioned being asked by her family why people would say such mean things about her. And the truth is, her ideas on elections are harmful to our democracy. And many people lack the ability to articulate their disapproval constructively. And if someone as controversial as Patty can be appointed to the Elections Commission, it's only fair and balanced that Nathaniel, who is equally passionate and committed to fair elections, be appointed as well. This will ensure balanced representation and uphold the integrity of our commission. I strongly urge you to vote in favor of Nathaniel Pinckney's appointment. His dedication to justice and fair elections makes him the right choice for our community. Thank you for your time and consideration, and thank you, Tim, for making the appointment.
This morning, you all said the pledge, justice for all. It's not justice for all if you decide not to approve of Nathan Pinckney, especially when we have so many people who come up here are trying to assassinate his name. For them to basically slander him and you allowing it here in this board to be allowing this, for you to allow the people to slander him, you actually supporting it. by not stopping that. And yes, they have a right to speak. So does the other side. So does the other side want justice, not just this side. Because if I had a scale here, it will be off balance because it will be the right wing. These people who claim to be Christians, these people who believe in God, they don't believe in God, because if they believed in God, they will know that God would it's not only going to favor the bad people or the good people. I mean, it is balanced. So for you to think that he's not capable of making decisions, he's a smart man. Just because you haven't given him the opportunity, because you're not willing to listen, because he doesn't agree with your agenda. That's why you don't like him. It's just the same way you don't like me, because we speak the truth. You don't like the truth. Laugh all you want. I can see you. It doesn't matter, Kevin, because you know what? We, the people, matter, regardless what you think. I heard Mr. Mark Kent on the radio telling people that they should call you to make sure he doesn't get appointed or, to be on the election commissioner. I mean, how much more are you going to go ahead and say things about Nathan? So he done things. So it is this side. How about when Richard went and pulled the gun in the election department? Oh, yeah, but that's right. But he also lied in the courtroom by denying, saying that he didn't. Under oath. You guys talk about being so honest. This is not honest. This is hypocrites. These are liars. And all you support is your people. But the thing is, he's the right person to balance. That way he's making sure that you're not going to get to look at those signatures, Kevin, just like the way you've been asking Chris for him to ask me in the past, because you want to see what's those signatures. So I recommend that you appoint him. Regardless if you decide not to, he actually will have legal grounds to sue the county for discrimination.